And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Executive Director for the Roswell Chamber of Commerce, now officially in capacity here.
That's right.
Andrea Moore with us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, happy New
Year.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Woohoo.
Happy 2022. Let's talk legislation real quick,
Okay.
just to kind of get out of it, because generally speaking, this time of year, you guys get hot and heavy getting ready for legislative session.
Yes.
That's normal in a normal non-COVID world, because generally, whether it's a 30-day or a 60-day, there's a lot of legislative receptions that happen in the evenings, and generally this is an opportunity for various organizations and municipalities and things to kind of showcase and talk to our legislators and things. And the chambers have one usually scheduled, and the Roswell Chamber, RTG, all the chambers around go up there and kind of show off the benefits of the various communities which they represent. Is any of that happening this year? Or has that all been put on the kibosh?
So I'm going to start with Leadership Roswell first.
Okay.
We are not going up to Santa Fe with Leadership Roswell this year because it has been mandated by the governor that you have to be vaccinated.
Okay.
And to be vaccinated, that requires all 3 shots, your 2 vaccinations plus your booster, which now I'm hearing from the CDC, they're recommending a 4th one.
Oh, Lord.
So I'm sure... So I'm sure all of that's going to end up happening. Well, with Leadership Roswell, we spoke with Rick and said, hey, I'm willing to do it, but here's the trick.
You're going to have to make everyone get vaccinated.
If you're not vaccinated, you can't go in. They're not allowing tours at the Roundhouse. You're not going to be able to meet with legislators or the governor or any of that.
And that's really what Leadership Roswell does when they're out there. So
Exactly.
even if they go, where are they going?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to go to the Supreme Court. You can't go to the Land Commission. You're not going to be able to go do all of those things, go to the governor's mansion because they're just not open to tours. So put the vaccination thing aside. They're not doing tours. They're going to probably put the fence up around the Roundhouse again, from what I've been hearing, but definitely the vaccine. And then speakers are very hesitant to come talk to us in Santa Fe because it's all of that rigmarole.
Sure.
So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do that.
Okay.
There were some of the receptions are being canceled because once again, it's all of those mandates that are required once you're in Santa Fe proper.
Yeah.
So Leadership Roswell's not going. I personally will probably be going back and forth up there because I do have personal relationships with people.
And you're still the public events and things, those are getting scaled back. But
Correct.
The meetings, the actual business of a legislative session still happening, and you as a chamber director will have things to discuss.
Well, and like I said, with my personal relationships, there's ways that you figure out how to work around. And if that means going up to, my girlfriend's house and hanging out, and then we just, meet over there, or, that kind of stuff to get stuff done,
so then,
I'll do. And of course, I miss all my girls, all my buddies. And
you'll make a trip out of it regardless.
That's right. So whether it be official or unofficial, I'm sure I'll go up there at least once. And then, of course, it is only a 30-day session.
Correct, yeah.
So it's going to, from the minute they start that it's gavel down at noon, it'll be just fast and furious.
Sure. And this is, I'm curious, because generally the 30-day, it's mostly budget.
Mostly. And anything the governor deems relevant.
Yeah. I'm wondering, and this is not really a question for you, it's just me speaking out loud. I'm wondering if they're going to give some more guidance to our municipalities on the cannabis stuff.
I've heard that that's a possibility.
Okay, because I know speaking to a mayor and county commission and things, they're all pretty much saying they're leaving it up to us, and we're just all kind of taking like the liquor ordinances and trying to kind of line up with those, and Santa Fe, this is where Santa Fe screwed this up. Forget whether
when you have a special session and you say, here's the legislation, you're not allowed to make any amendments or any changes.
Yeah.
It's pass fail.
Yeah.
It got passed because they weren't allowed to leave until they passed it. So they passed it, they came home, and of course it's wild, wild west down here.
Yeah. And that's the part that gets me, regardless whether you're for recreation or not, that to me, that's not the point here. The point is, if you're going to do this, you better have a plan in place to say,
Yes.
this is what we're doing. You can't just say we're going to make it legal now and say, have fun with it. No,
yeah.
what's all right? It's all right. Yes. Okay. It's going to be legal. We're going to make it available to anyone of age or whatever the requirements we place on it. But what are those requirements? How do we implement them? All right, what's the rules here? Are they going to be restricted on hours? Are they going to be restricted on where they can be built? What's the protocol here? And none of that was, no guidelines, none of that was given out. And that's where it's a problem, because if you leave everyone to their own devices, some are going to have none, and some are going to be over the top.
Yep.
And you're not going to have any consistency there. And so you really need a state guideline here to say, okay, you've got to meet this criteria, and this criteria.
Yeah, at least
outside
have the
of that,
basics.
have those, and then go.
Well, it's
turn you loose on your
something
thing.
as simple. Look at cigarettes. Look at alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
You have in most places are starting to go back up to 21 to buy cigarettes now.
Yeah, I'm hearing that. Yeah.
But 18 to buy cigarettes, 21 to drink alcohol, but purchase alcohol. So this is a substance that is going to alter the way that you function, the way that you think.
Sure.
It is a mind-altering substance like alcohol. So,
Absolutely.
I don't want my 12-year-old to be smoking pot or eating edibles or something. So, yeah, we need to know what those checks and balances are.
Absolutely.
So we'll see. I would think that there's going to be something that comes out, but it's 30 days and it's Santa Fe. So your guess is as good as mine at this point.
It's going to be interesting, obviously. But if it sounds like, because normally at this time they're saying, hey, any businesses want to bring some stuff over to the chamber so we can give out and hand out. Hold off on all that till we know for sure, but it sounds like that's probably not going to be happening.
And I will always take stuff, because even if we don't do it for the 30-day session, there's opportunities for me to go up there.
Okay.
And, worst case scenario, I can do gift baskets and send them to the individual legislators on different things. And, of course, my wheelhouse is this kind of stuff. So be looking for emails.
Okay.
From us at the chamber on the different legislation that's coming out.
Okay.
Some stuff we will, as the chamber, take a stance and say we are for or against what's going on, but a lot of it will be just informational. Hey, this is coming up. Here's the committee it's in. Here's the people you need to contact.
Sure. You as a business, does this pertain to you? Do you need to pay attention to this? And this is the side of becoming a chamber member and the benefit side. I know we talk about a lot of the time, and most of the time, it's promoting your business and helping make your business grow. But the other facet, and I tend to lean this way, the more important role of the chamber is to be that voice for businesses in the legislature.
Absolutely.
To show our legislators exactly what our businesses are going through. So when it comes to make legislation, either helping or hurting these individuals, they at least know exactly what's going on, because your chamber is doing a good job of keeping them informed and updated on that. Chamber obviously is a nonpartisan event, so I mean, and to be honest, chambers kind of work like the communities in which they live in. They're nonpartisan, but if it's a very liberal leaning community, the chamber generally goes that direction.
Exactly.
And vice versa. If it's a conservative, it generally leans conservative. However, they're there to represent the voice of the businesses, everybody here. So,
and if there's legislation that comes out that, as the community, as businesses, want to let me know so I can inform everybody else, let me know, because I try to do a pretty good job of knowing what's going on with my contacts up in Santa Fe between elected officials and their staff. But of course, I'm human. I'm one person. I can't be everywhere all at once. So if there's something particular that our businesses in our community want to know or want us to push out, I can put it in our newsletter or in our email. And of course, like I said, we've been really good at just doing our newsletter on Fridays. But because of the 30-day session, you are going to see more emails from us.
It'll get busy here over the next 30, 40 days here.
Because, things change daily, and they may even change,
by the
hourly and stuff. So as it's relevant, I will really do my very, very best to push out the information, so that way you can contact your elected officials, or if you want me to take a stance and lobby on behalf, if we get most of our businesses that contact the chamber and say, hey, we really need you to do this, I am more than happy to do that legwork.
Fight the fight.
And contact these people and say, hey, this is what we need you to do. We need you to vote yes, or we need you to vote no. We need you to push it on to the next committee or whatever, because I'm going to use an old school word, Rolodex. I have lots of personal phone numbers and emails that a lot of the general public doesn't have, just because over the last 20 years, I've really worked hard to get that make those relationships.
And throughout your career and things, it's not always been the chamber director. You've served with the political parties here, so you swam in those circles and know the connections in those circles, and now you're using that to your advantage as a chamber director, and
100%.
And that's what's going on there.
Yeah.
It's much like we all do in our lives.
And I'm happy to do it. So be looking for that kind of stuff coming up, because it'll be fast.
Yeah. Especially that last week of the session there. That's when it'll get really, I mean, you think the first, and then because once it's almost fun to watch, because it's when it's watching the government happen in a high pressure situation, which is kind of an unusual thing in government operations. We'll see our U.S. Congress on occasion, they got to get a balanced budget by midnight or something, and so they're burning the midnight candles, but that doesn't happen very often. That's pretty much happens every year in the last week, even of a 60-day, it gets like that too. And so, pay attention. And to be honest, this is where you really need to pay attention, because this is the stuff that can get real nefarious. This is where that's happening. When we talk about progressives and the extremes of both sides and all, they can do some real damage during these 30 and 60 days if they turn enough people.
We'll post links to the different committee meetings. We'll do, I will do my very best to have that up on our website. We'll have our brand new website here within about the next week or so. Madeline has really been working hard on getting the new website up and working. Finally, it's been a year of all of us pulling our hair out trying to get this thing going. So when the new website comes up, it'll be updated. It's user-friendly. Cool. So those links will be posted, so that way you can see, I need to make sure I look at Finance Committee. If there's Zoom stuff, so that way the public can participate, since you can't be there in person unless you're vaccinated. We'll do our very best to make sure that all of that stuff is posted. Cool. And like I said, if there's something I miss, contact me, please. Yeah. It's not going to hurt my feelings if you go, hey, you didn't put this on there, or where can I find it?
And let us know when we do that. We'll make sure to share it on our Facebooks and all that, to help get the word out, to steer people back there to check it out and go see it.
Because if you don't participate, in my opinion, you can't complain.
Well, and it's kind of like what I was when I was on my soapbox last hour talking about the municipal elections here. These elections, municipal, county level, they are as far as impacting what you do on a daily basis, the decisions that come from those results are going to impact your life more greatly than even what
the closer to home, the more it affects your daily basis. Yes, I love to watch what happens in D.C. Yeah. It just cracks me up, and I throw socks at the TV all the time. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't affect my day-to-day life as much as what happens in Santa Fe, what happens in Roswell, or at the county commission meetings. Absolutely. So going back to what you said, like with the Leadership Roswell Alumni Forum, I agree. Be there in person. Go to city council meetings. Be there in person. Go to county commission meetings. Be there in person. Because there is something to be said about watching it on the video versus being in person, because you need to, in my opinion, watching the interactions. Absolutely. That when the public's up there speaking and you're watching city councilors or county commission rolling their eyes, crossing their arms, huffing and puffing, or the smiles and the nods and the okay. Yeah. You need to see that, because then you get the full picture.
Absolutely. The lay of the land,
when we have elections, you can make an informed decision and go, oh, wait a second. Sally Joe has been sitting on the commission for all this time, but all she's done is roll her eyes and huff and puff and be, a grumpy Gus. Maybe we need to get somebody else in there. Or, Joe Blow has been great. He's been very supportive of the community. Absolutely. Let's continue. So I'm all for, and of course, at the same time, as session, we do have our municipal elections. So we'll do the same thing. We'll be posting, as I see the bios,
Okay.
for example, Robert Korn's stuff was in the paper on Sunday. We'll start posting all of that information. So that way you can see who is everybody running for mayor, who's everybody running in your wards.
Sure.
And then you can start making those decisions. Do I want to have, one person over another in a ward? And even though Angela's running unopposed, we'll still post all of her information so her constituents can see who she is.
And if she wants, we're going to invite her up here.
Absolutely.
Leadership Roswell will invite her to the forum to speak for. Obviously, she won't have someone to talk against, but generally how they do that at those events is they'll offer the unopposed candidates like 2 minutes to address the crowd and speak with them and do that. Now, she's under no obligation to do it, but we're going to offer those opportunities. So
I'll be the first one to say congratulations, Angela, on your win for city council. But the next, few months is going to be fast and furious. And then, of course, we'll come out of session and we are going to have our Rise with Roswell breakfast.
Yes.
I can officially...
it's back.
It's back. We will have that in March. I don't have the exact date quite yet, but there is a specific time in March that is Agriculture Week, and we usually do it on that Thursday of the week. So we are hammering out who our guest speaker is, and there's a couple that we've really been working on.
I've heard
and one
some
I
rumors and names, and they're all good ones.
Yeah, so one I really hope we get. So we've been back and forth trying to make an agreement to see who's going to do it, but we are definitely having our Rise with Roswell breakfast.
Cool. Now for you non-ranching types, this is a rancher's hours event.
Yes.
It's a breakfast, and it's not at like 8 a.m.
No,
you're going to miss the whole
6,
thing of it.
7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, 6 a.m. We're out, but here's the. All right, most of you are like, why the heck am I getting up at 6 a.m. to go? The food's always excellent.
Yes.
The guest speakers are always excellent. It really is a great event. It's worth being up at dark 30 to come on out.
It really is.
They're going to have plenty of coffee. So if you come in bleary-eyed, no problem. They'll IV you up to the coffee and get you ready to go. But it really is worth it. Get your tickets. Come out. This is an opportunity to learn, but also to thank and show our appreciation to the farm and ranch community. That agricultural in this area, we would. They can't go. We couldn't have one without the other.
If you eat, you are a part of agriculture.
Absolutely, and we're very fortunate in Roswell and even Chaves County. We're rather diverse compared to some of our surrounding counties. They kind of live and die by oil and gas. And don't get me wrong, oil and gas helps us a whole bunch too. I'm not going to complain about that, but really, our bread and butter at the end of the day, that dairy industry, farming, ranching.
Drive around Chaves County, look at all the farms and the dairies and
the cattle,
fields.
everything. Yeah, that really is our bread and butter. Pardon the pun here, but it kind of is.
So we're excited.
Absolutely. So dates, we'll get everything out here. Is there still sponsorship opportunities?
We are. We're starting to go, and of course, we're going to reach out to those sponsors that weren't able because the event got canceled at the last minute in 19.
So we got to do some make goods there.
So
and all
we're,
that.
If you were a sponsor back then, you will still be a sponsor. Of course, I'm gonna ask that everybody. I would love to have money help us pay for everything. But if you've already paid, we're making good on your sponsorship from back then.
But if you want to give us some more, we'll be like,
I'm never going to say no. Jeez.
Right. I'll give you an extra egg. How about that?
That's right. So we're excited for that. We're going to start contacting everybody for that event. Of course, with the new year we're still continuing with Roswell Now magazine, but the contracts are now up to be re-signed for any of the long-term advertisers that we had last year.
Okay.
I'm hoping and I'm pretty sure that just about all of them will sign their contracts. And, of course, we're out looking for new advertisers.
I'm about to say, so if you're looking to sign a contract here and want to maybe, lock in advertising for the next year through the magazine, now's the perfect time to come contact the chamber
and get
that done.
We've got advertising opportunities from as low as $200 up to, $3,000 per issue. And, of course, that just depends on how big of an ad.
Sure.
if you want a 2-page spread in the magazine, of course, that's going to cost you more. But we have a section called Business Hub that we're really starting to develop that's kind of like a directory.
Okay.
So that's as small as $200 per issue. If you're a member of the chamber, you get a 10% discount on any of our advertising. But advertising is not limited just to our members. It's open to any and everybody. And I've heard a lot of good information from our advertisers that they have seen a return on advertising because
so they feel like they're getting money, they're getting investment in their money they're spending.
Absolutely. It gets mailed out to every household in Chaves County, not just Roswell, but the entire county, and it's just shy of 30,000 households.
Yeah.
So you're getting tons of exposure, as well as we take tons to every hotel, all of our banks, like anywhere that does commerce that will allow us to drop off magazines. They're there.
Absolutely.
Restaurants, anybody that allows us. So it's not just the households, but then our overprint we get out into the community.
And of course, if you have not got one in the mail and you're like, hey, I want to call the chamber, we'll get you on the mailing list, or make sure your address is correct in the mailing list.
Exactly.
If you've moved or something and that just never got updated.
And if you've been one of those people, lucky, unlucky, I don't know how you put it, people that have gotten 2 or 3 because your number, your address or whatever has probably been in there a couple of times. Let me know that too, because then I can scrub our address list appropriately. Because I know, for example, at the post office, a lot of places will have their physical address as well as their post office.
Right.
And if you want one copy just sent to one place or the other, let me know.
Sure.
Because we can adjust our mailing list appropriately.
So that way, if you're getting inundated with copies of it and you don't want that. Now, if you want that, by all means, enjoy. But
absolutely.
But if you just want one copy, call the chamber, let them know, and they'll be like, all right, let's which one do you want it to, and let's get it all fixed up.
And of course, if you want to submit content to us, we're always looking for content.
Absolutely.
Anything that has to do with Chaves County, that, like, once again, not just Roswell, but the entire county of Chaves. If you're a writer, a photographer, if you just want to give us an idea.
Sure.
I can't tell you how many people just in the last couple of days have come into the office and said, oh my gosh, I used to live here, 40 years ago, and this place over here used to be this. Do you know what this building used to be? And telling a story. I'm like, oh my gosh, would you like to be in the magazine? Yeah, I'll write up a thing, or
I think that'd be a great feature, maybe, because I know, if you follow on Facebook, there's a couple pages like Remembering Roswell and things, and a lot of those post and share nostalgic pictures of the community. Maybe that's a section, a feature in each one. Maybe this person will, hey, here's our blast from the past for this episode or this edition, and it's the old Levi's building or whatever it is.
Exactly, that's the kind of stuff.
Yeah.
People that have lived in this community all their lives have said that they've learned something from each episode, each issue.
Now you're doing what I'm doing.
I do it all the time. That each issue that we have, and they go, oh my gosh, I've lived here all my life.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, that's, and then of course we want to always have something about the schools, because it's the community. This is a magazine for the community, by the community, because I promise everybody gets really bored with me very quickly. I am not as interesting as people think I am.
I was like, I'm interesting, but only like this period of time, and then I'm done.
It's, give us ideas. We're always looking. And if you don't think you're a writer or a photographer, fine, not a big deal. We got people.
Yeah.
We'll go out and we'll do it.
Sure.
Of course, things like the zoo. As everybody has noticed, we've had an animal at the zoo. And of course, we're going to highlight the new animals that just came in the next issue. We've got, and of course, there's always different people, places, things. Call us. Let us know with the magazine.
Absolutely.
Lots of opportunities. And I promise you, we're going to be out there knocking on your door. If you don't call me, I'm going to call you.
Absolutely.
Because there is opportunity for everybody. And then, of course, with it being a new year, business after hours, our calendar fills up very quickly.
Absolutely.
Another opportunity for members. Now, that is a member-specific event that we do as business after hours, where you as the business get to highlight your business for whatever reason. If you just want to have a party, we'll do it. But typically it is, a remodel, a grand opening type stuff. But it doesn't have to be that. It's a networking event for everybody, because everybody in the community is invited, but only members can actually be the host of the business after hour.
Yeah, exactly.
To highlight their business. So contact us, because we only do so many a year.
Mm-hmm.
So give us a call, because that book is, we're booking very quickly with business after hours, as we always do.
And like I said, I think last time, prior to COVID, you had to book about a year out to do this. We're getting to the point now where we're almost back to that.
Correct.
That scenario. Not quite, but we're close to it.
That's right. So give us a call.
Yeah. So
and if it's open, we'll do it.
I will tell you this: a lot of businesses will use it to mark special occasions, like maybe it's an anniversary of your business. I know we did ours here. It was our 1-year anniversary here in this building, which was about 4 years ago. But that's
well, then you're about due for another one.
We're about due, but it's like that. Or maybe you've expanded your facility or opened a new facility.
Exactly.
Or if you're a grand opening business or something, that's what we generally people use. I mean, there's no rule or regulation here, but if you're looking for an idea or a reason why to do it, maybe a milestone with your business would be a good starting point there.
Absolutely.
Like that.
And, being back from COVID is always a great reason. Yeah. Hey, we're still here, because a lot of places have closed permanently. So if you want to just, hey, I'm still here.
Yeah, we're open. We're back at COVID. Hey, this is the upgrades and changes we've made to our COVID protocols. Come see it and come and enjoy some food and some prizes while you're at it.
And if you don't have a brick and mortar business, if you're an online business or, a home.
We can host some at the chamber.
We have a great facility at the office. We can move things around, and we can have a ton of people in and out of the chamber itself to be able to highlight you and your business as well.
Absolutely. So there's many options here. But again, if you're interested, please reach out to the chamber here today. Like I said, they book up quick. So especially if you've got a date-specific time period, the sooner the better. That way you can lock it down and get it taken care of. Okay. What about sheriff's luncheons and all that? Is that going to be back? So
we are going to start doing the sheriff's luncheon. We were trying to bring it back last year, but with Sheriff Harrington's very busy schedule, we were
and now
trying
it's an election
to figure
year
out
too. So I didn't know if that had to change anything or not. Too.
As long as he's willing to do it, we're willing to do it, because we do want to, get that information out. And then hopefully after the municipal elections, we can get something going
for the
with mayor and or the city councilors as well, because I do think that there's something to be said.
Absolutely.
To have these elected officials. You need, have access and know what's going on. I will send out as much information, because I am that weird, crazy person. I go to every city council meeting. I go to every county commission meeting. I'm starting to go to every committee meeting for the city as well. So I go in, because I am weird and crazy, and I just eat that stuff up.
This is kind of your wheelhouse. You love politics and love
it. My
that.
kids roll their eyes, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is the most boring. My husband's the same way.
There's a certain breed of people that love it, and you're one of them. That's
I do.
Just what it is. Yeah.
So I can give information, but it's not the same as getting it from your elected official.
Sure.
And then ask, because I can only give you the information. I can't say why somebody voted or did.
You've got your opinions and everything, but at the end of the day, I'm
not the elected. I'm not in charge.
Absolutely. Yeah. And hearing it straight from the person that's making those decisions is far better than
and if there is something
second, third hand
that the community wants us to do at the chamber, let me know. If there's a certain kind of like a lunch and learn or a seminar or something you want us to do that would be helpful to your business or help highlight certain things in the community, once again, let me know. We have that great, beautiful boardroom. And the front office area is just about complete. We've got to put a little bit of border on the baseboards back on, and we're going to get some rugs and the furniture in there. But that office area is awesome.
Good.
We have finally been able to get enough funds to take care of that office area.
Good.
And that's another meeting space, because we have this big, huge boardroom that seats up to 45 people comfortably.
But if you don't need that much, we got smaller areas.
We'll have a smaller office area that you can come in and check emails, use the phone if you need, or even just a small meeting if there's 6-8 people that need to meet. Instead of the big boardroom, we now have another area.
Maybe you have job interviews and things that you don't want to do, say, at the business. You can come down to the chamber and get that taken care of.
Exactly. And I'm just excited. That's
Like
what we
it
did
just,
all over
and
Christmas.
what I'm saying is like hiring and things like that. Sometimes you don't want to do that where other staff or things.
Correct.
So if you need an off-site place to conduct that kind of business,
We'll
the
have
chamber is
exactly.
If you're a member of the chamber or even not a member and you want to learn more about that stuff, come
Yeah,
talk.
because
Well,
there's a lot of
we
things
can
that
help
we
with that
do
stuff.
that is for our members, but we are, we can offer a lot of things to non-members as well. Now,
Absolutely.
there might be a charge
Sure.
if you're not a member versus member.
Sure.
And so, but we are open to the
help.
public. We are for the community.
And I also want to throw a shout out to nonprofits and things too. If you're needing help in various ways, the chamber loves helping nonprofits or pairing you with maybe some
Yes.
chamber members. We have a lot of chamber members, small business owners that are passionate about certain projects, and maybe we can use that to pair up and say, well, maybe you're into animals. We know a business that loves supporting animals. Maybe let's go pair you guys together. Maybe they can help you out. You help us. We can help there. I mean, we can make those kind of connections for you
Yes.
if you're looking for that kind of
That's
stuff.
exactly what, if, nonprofits that need a place to have a luncheon, we've got our space. The Kiwanis have come in and
Yeah.
had luncheons at different times. I know different committees with leadership, Roswell alumni come and use our boardroom.
Absolutely.
Let's see, I think Dairy Producers board meeting is going
Yeah.
to be next week.
Senior Olympics, I think, used it.
They've used it.
multiple times, yeah.
Albertsons does
Yeah.
their training.
Yeah.
Let's see, once a month we have the phlebotomists come in. The group that we've
They
worked
squirt
with.
blood all over. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, the vampires come in. And they come in once a month
Yeah.
and do their training
Yeah.
there. So we have this space, and we are willing to work with you in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
We'll offer water, coffee, and tea at a minimum. If you want us to, make sure that you've got a lunch or a dinner, we're more than happy to help you cater it.
Yeah.
Now, there is a charge to that.
Sure. But you can help.
But I will be more than happy to make those arrangements.
Absolutely,
And
yeah.
that kind of stuff. That's
help
what we're
plan
there
everything.
for.
Yeah. So reach out, call the chamber, give out the number. and all that.
575-623-5695.
Very good. And of course, follow the Roswell Chamber of Commerce on Facebook.
It's a day.
It's a day. The Roswell Chamber of Commerce on Facebook and Instagram. And like I said, the website should be
Pretty
rolling
quick.
out here in the next couple weeks and getting folks up to date on that. And then, of course, if you have any questions about legislative session, business after hours, or sheriff's lunch, any of the stuff we talked about,
Yes.
don't hesitate to reach out and or come by the chamber.
Yep.
They're like I said, if the door is locked and it's during business hours, just ring the doorbell.
If you see one of our cars, usually one of the red cars, or Kyle's big black truck, or Madeline's gray Jeep out there, we're
Yeah.
there. But there are times that we lock the front door for safety reasons.
Sure.
We have a doorbell. Ring the doorbell. We will come. I promise. We've got the cameras up. We can
Yeah.
see when you're there. But come on in. Call us, 131 West 2nd.
Yeah,
And we'd love to chat with you.
absolutely. And have a happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thank you. We appreciate the visit as always. And,
Absolutely.
We'll see you next time. All right.
All righty.
All right. 8:55.